The Paris plan. Okay, so I'm going to Paris. Mike and I are going to be going to Paris. We have been dreaming of going to Paris for so many years. It's not even funny. But let me tell you a little bit about why we're going and how all of that is gonna look, because it's kind of a cool story. When we got married, my husband and I, he was in a band called the High Savant, if you're wondering. And they were going to be touring Europe. We agreed that I would go with him to Germany, and for a number of reasons, that didn't happen. So for years, it was like, I never got to go on my honeymoon to Germany. I never got to go back to Europe. I had obviously been dreaming of Europe, not just Germany, but just dreaming of Europe for years. My husband actually grew up in France. His parents were missionaries about a half hour north of Paris for, I think, 20 years total, on and off, like, you know, going on furlough and stuff like that. He has wanted to return to France for a number of years. And as a couple, we've just had a dream to go. But every time I would bring up going to Paris, and this is not bad on my husband or bad on me, but we would get in a fight. We would get in an argument about it because it just wasn't the right timing. We honestly didn't have the resources to do it, and it wasn't the right timing. But, and I really say this with like all sincerity, I think we just never prioritized it because it seemed like it was impossible. We kind of build our dreams up into these things that we think are unattainable or are going to take a lot more time or a lot more money than we think. Plus, we let the worries and cares of what's going on in our day-to-day lives get us down. We've just been wrapped up in work and life and just grinding it out and hustling. So it's like, wow, you know, you have these dreams and you keep planning and you keep making the dream further and further away because life just gets in the way. We finally have been turning this corner in life where we're both getting a little bit older and we're saving up. We've got almost no debt left. I thought, I have to go to Paris. And so years and years of building this up in my mind, but it was never happening. I remember multiple years around New Year's writing my goals and saying, this year I'm gonna go to Paris, this year we're gonna go to Paris, and it wouldn't happen. But instead we would put other things before actually committing to the plan. And I just kind of came up with this little idea, you know, what if we sold a bunch of our stuff and started saving up the money? What if we bought super cheap tickets on Scott's Cheap Flights? What if we found a really affordable Airbnb? And what if we decided to shop at the markets and make our food? What if we could make this trip like as small and as affordable as possible? The dream was born. I was laying on the couch with Mike after he got off a shift, and I said to him, you know, life is really short. And he was like, yeah, it is, I know. And I was like, well, I think we should go to Paris. I think it's time. And it just totally shocked me to hear this. He basically was like, yeah, I think we should. And I said, well, what if we could do it for a certain price amount? And I just kind of threw out there like $2,000. And he was like, okay, well, let's try to make it work. That's what we're trying to do. We have a used truck that we're looking at trading in so that we have no car payment. We have loads of furniture and stuff and clothes and just a bunch of clothes that I have, and just valuable little knick-knacky things that we're gonna start saving up. I've already made $265 from selling stuff around my house, and I'm gonna be documenting the whole thing. I don't have our passports, so we're gonna have to get our passports. We're looking at Airbnbs. And basically, I'm just gonna be putting all this out there because for me, Paris is like the place that I resonate most deeply with. It's almost like I feel that I need to be there, that I belong there. The fashion, the style, all of this to say that I believe that if you have a dream, the more you put that dream off and prioritize other things, the more of a pain it can be to you. Dreams can be both like energizing and they can be draining. I honestly think that if we had chosen to delay gratification on certain things, that we would have been able to do so much more much earlier. And I think a lot of us in the United States, or at least in Western culture, can relate to that. Because honestly, we all have our struggles. We all have stuff we're going through. And I think we just have to get to the place where we choose to take baby steps towards our dreams, towards our goals, so that one day we will get there. And to just hold the goal kind of loosely, like we may or may not have it at the right time that we think is the right time. We may not have it at the time exactly when we think we're gonna have it, but it will come. Do something towards reaching that goal. Think of any and every way that you can use the resources that you already possess in your life to turn those resources into tools to get you to where you want to go. The final thing that I want to say is, please don't give up on your dreams. God's timing is perfect. I really honestly believe in my heart that for Mike and I to have gone to Paris before this time in our lives, we wouldn't have enjoyed it or appreciated it or been prepared for it. And God's gonna do so much more with the person that is waiting patiently and planning earnestly than the person who just gets what they want in the time that they want it. There's so much more joy and satisfaction when you've been waiting and planning and praying about something and then it happens. If you have a dream to go to Paris, if you have a dream to travel the United States in an RV, or to sell your house and live, off the grid, or get a tiny home, or, anything. I just think that you need to start seeing how possible your dream really is. It is more possible than you can imagine. It's just what's the minimum viable version, if you will, of the dream that you have. I'm gonna leave you with this. I want you to join along by signing up on my email list if that's something that you want to do. And all I have right now to offer you to sign up for my email list is an ebook that I wrote probably about 1.5 years ago, and it's called How to Dress Like a French Girl. It's a great resource for you to get started on kind of understanding French style rules and the French philosophy on beauty and dressing and all that stuff. I'm so grateful for you, and I really believe in your dreams, and I'm begging you to not give up on your dream. Before I let you go, can you please comment below and tell me what your dream is, because I have heard some pretty awesome stuff from people on Instagram and emails I've gotten from posting this. So please let me know what your dream is, because I think just putting it out there like someone did for me is one of the first steps to starting to pursue it as a goal. All right, you guys, thanks for watching, and à tout à l'heure.